what I do a lot is I look at the underlying assumption. I don't even deal with what she said, but the underlying assumption. So you're not going to get any of this. The underlying assumption is I'm chasing her, right? So why not attack the underlying assumption, right? Be like, I wasn't, not that I'm not interested, you're very cute, but like, I hadn't really made my mind up yet. But thank you for the help, right? Does that make sense? So you're going to attack the premise, right?
That's a question. Is that changing her mood or her mind? Like an example of that, or is that more logically, but just in like attacking another part of logic? You know what I mean?
So are you familiar with the phrase lateral thinking? Right. There's linear thinking and there's lateral thinking. Mm-hmm. So linear thinking is like I give you a puzzle and I lay out the rules, and you like try and follow those rules and like brute force the puzzle, right? Like maybe in math there's a procedure for solving this kind of problem. Lateral thinking. Sorry.
That's not mine. That's not mine.
So linear thinking is direct approach to the solution, right? Lateral thinking is what kind of alternative ways can I look at the problem, right? So a lot of what you want to do in passing the shit test, don't look at literal linear, like I'm here, I want to get here. Think, how can I not be here? Right? Instead of thinking how to get from A to B, think how can I not be at A? Does that kind of make sense?
Sure. So that is lateral thinking, but how does that change her mood? It changes her mood because it attacks a different assumption.
It changes the entire like premise of what's going on.
And that in turn changes her mood.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to understand.
Change her mood, not her mind. That wasn't a perfect analogy.
Okay, that's what I was.
Yeah, it's not technically her mood. What you're doing is you're changing, I guess, the implicit understanding. Yeah, you're changing the implicit understandings of the conversation, if you like. Does that make sense?
Reframing.
Yeah, reframing. But because a lot of times what they're trying to do is they're trying to put you the shit test is basically putting you in an unfortunate position, right? So instead of saying, how do I fight my way by brute force out of this position, instead think, how can I just not be in this position in the first place? How can I sidestep that position? Makes sense? Right? It's kind of like, imagine like you have the bull and you're the matador. You don't want to go head to head with the bull because the bull's stronger than you. Instead, you just step aside and let the bull's force just carry it by you. Right? So it's a little bit of finessing it rather than trying to hit it head on. So when you do get the shit tests, try and understand, usually there's the literal thing being said, and that's not even the problem, but what's being said is the implication or the premise underlying it, right? And so a lot of times what you can do is actually deal with it very literally, just go super literal about it, right? You're not gonna get anything tonight. Oh, you didn't bring me a present? I'm breaking up with you, right? So literally, like the underlying premise is you're not gonna get any of this, you're not worthy, whatever, right? But literally she said you're not gonna get anything. So on a literal level, oh, I'm not getting a present. Oh, you didn't bring me a gift? Bad girlfriend, right? Does that make sense? Right, so just find a way out of the box rather than trying to like deal from that position. Actually, the other thing it reminds me of is, that scene from The Matrix where he's like, don't try and bend the spoon, that's impossible. Just realize the truth that there is no spoon. Does that make sense? So basically, the girl has this premise, this idea that she's throwing at you, but you know the truth. And the truth is always the same. You're a high value guy that she would be very lucky to be with. So no matter what she says, she can't change that truth. So your job isn't to like fight against what she's saying, your job is to just realize the truth and act as such. That kind of makes sense? All right, your best sets.
A little more anxious.
Sure, yeah. So I'll just tell you from what I saw of you.
Yeah. Okay.
Your opens, well, other than that one, but your opens in general are pretty good. Like you got into conversation okay. Right? But then you got to a certain point where it's like, oh, this is going kind of okay. I don't know what the next step is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, certainly.
And so the next step, by the way, is to take that next risk. Right? Because a lot of people think like, oh shit, I'm scared to open. Once I get that, I'll be fine. Right? What you don't realize is everything in game, every escalation in game is a new risk. Opening is a risk. Yeah. Getting physical is a risk. Showing intent is a risk. Yeah. Right? And so every success, it's kind of annoying in a way, but every success, it just gets you to the next risk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it also gets you to the next reward.
Yeah.
Because every single risk leads to an escalation and better banter and the girl getting more into it, etc. Yeah. Right? But you have to decide over and over and over again that you want success more than you fear failure.
Yes.
And then you have to go for it.
Whew.
Make sense?
Yeah. I do feel that I get like escalation anxiety. I get continuing the conversation, like you just said, that's right on the
Yeah, oh, you did with like bailing on the numbers, right? It's the same thing. It's like, oh, it's going pretty well, let me leave while it's going well, instead of taking that next risk to try and actually succeed.
Yeah. So I guess the way for me to drill to get better is to like longer sets. Do you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, but it's not even about the length of the set. It's about you honestly thinking to yourself, what is the thing that could lead to sex, and then doing that thing. Not what's the thing that feels comfortable, not what's the thing that avoids a rejection, not what's the thing that's safe, what's the thing that has the highest probability of leading to sex, and then doing it. I mean, quite frankly, there's a word I use a lot in life, but in game, is integrity, right?
Yeah.
Right, integrity to me means doing the right thing when it's difficult. Make sense?
Yeah.
So there's so many choices between the easy thing and the right thing.
Yeah.
And if you choose the easy thing, your life will be easy and shitty.
Yeah.
Okay? If you choose the right thing, your life will be more difficult, but it will be so much better. Right? So choose the challenge that leads to your life being better, as opposed to the lack of challenge or the easy way out that leads to mediocrity. Make sense? So, there you go.
Gotcha.
Drop the mic. Yeah.